Let's meet tonight's top 5 finalists. Starting from the number 5 position and making his 4th consecutive appearance in the championship round, it's Tony Westlake of Edmond, Oklahoma. His opponent in match number 1 is powerful Jim Pensack of Mayfield Heights, Ohio. Looking for his 5th career PBA title and beginning tonight's action from the middle of the pack is 35-year-old David Ozio of Vidor, Texas. Qualifying in the runner-up position is talented Ron Palumbi Jr. of Erie, Pennsylvania. And nailing down the top spot this week is 30-year-old Dave Ferraro of Kingston, New York. He'll need to win just 1 game to capture his 5th career PBA championship and $18,000 in first place prize money. And welcome everyone to Red Carpet Lanes in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the championship round finals of the $125,000 La Mode Open. And welcome back, everyone, to Red Carpet Lanes in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Opening game of the $125,000 La Mode Classic. A familiar face on ESPN this summer. Tony Westlake starts the match. Championship round pair 15 and 16.
Well, isn't this the Tony Westlake show, Denny?
Yeah, pretty much it is, yeah. The man with 4 consecutive championship round appearances, 1 victory. And on a hot streak right now, on a tear. Has struggled during the practice session and starts out with a Brooklyn. That's an indication that he's obviously not lined up on the championship pair.
Well, he told us earlier that he was lost. He was dead lost at his price. He said, I said, are the lanes any different? He says, no, I can't strike on either one. So I think he needs to move a little deeper myself. Deeper, I mean further left toward the 3rd arrow.
Pensack cuts it off a little short, but trips the 4-pin with his opening offering.
And he is playing in extremely deep, in around the 3rd arrow or deeper. We'll get a look at his style. 5 steps here. Watch the high backswing, and real quick he gets it back there. Now the short pivot step there. He drives through, nice slide, and snaps that follow through in. Big man getting bigger.
I think snap is the key word there. Really rips it at the bottom of the swing. Tries to create some area, and when he gets his kind of a ball reaction, well, he can lead the big tournaments. He led the U.S. Open this year. Comes out of the gate and slashes the rack with a double on 15.
And I was just thinking, I'm looking at his shirt. It's wringing wet already. If he happens to go 4 games tonight, he may need to change shirts.
Well, change of jersey perhaps sometime along the way. So a quick double for Pensack, who opens up a 10-pin lead over Tony Westlake. Tony rifles it up about the 11 board and comes back with a strike.
Well, that lane seems to be holding for him. And he said earlier he was trying to hook the ball, and he stopped that. We see the familiar style of Tony Westlake, very short first step, and then basically it's 4 steps after that. Head very steady. Look at the backswing. A little over shoulder height. Now watch the follow through. Snaps it up. Good shot, leaves that 10. His wife, Mary, looks on.
Nice adjustment from the last shot on that lane.
I don't know, he struck the one before.
Oh, come on. Went Brooklyn the last trip and was lucky to get away with the next. Soft 10 this trip. What a remarkable run, though, for Westlake, who now has already won better than $87,000 this year. Been a torrid pace this summer and uses all of the lane to pick up the 10-pin.
There's never a doubt. He had it all the way.
Jimmy Pensack, 30 years of age, 5'10", 195, and played some high school football. You see right now the pressures of playing on national television. He'll be soaked through and through by the time this one's all over.
Well, that's 2 in a row he's tripped out on that lane. As his wife Liz looks on. She looks a little nervous, doesn't she?
Yep. Excited to be here. I made the trip in earlier today. Mayfield Heights, obviously a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio.
And he used to be from Richmond Heights.
Yeah.
Richmond Heights has an outstanding wrestling team every year. Well, he gave that one real.
Gave it room, and you could see those white out-of-bounds stakes out there about the 7 or 8 board all the way down the lane. You get it out there about right of 7 or 8, and it's going to straighten out on you.
It doesn't come back right. 1, 2, 4. He wants to get it to the left of the head pin, then have the ball run down and cover all 3 pins.
Perfect. So no problem with the 1, 2, 4. Pensack spares up in the 4th, and he's opened up an 8-pin lead over Tony Westlake. A very good match here in game number 1. We'll be back with more from Red Carpet Lanes right after this. Ferraro, the unlucky number of 13 after the opening round, but boy, ended up number 1 when it was all said and done.
And it looks, you only had 3 leaders in this tournament, Palumbi, Pensack, and Ferraro.
Tony Westlake starting in 47th. It was an uphill climb, and last night went down to the final game in the position round, and old Tony shot 264 against Mark McDowell to solidify his position on the telecast. Unleashes a shot and then just exit stage left for the 5-pin.
We've seen that strike a lot of times for Tony.
Never ceases to amaze me. You watch the professionals in warm-up, just a couple of shots before the telecast begins. They look as lost as you could possibly get and come right out and start throwing strikes.
I used to be that way.
Did you?
Only I stayed lost.
Is it the concentration? Does it
I never know. I
rise?
never did figure it out once the lights went on.
You bowled in the dark for many years, my friend. Oh, that one crosses over. And lucky to avoid perhaps more than just the 3-6-10.
He's really struggling on lane 15. Brooklyn, light in the pocket, and then the 3-6-10. Very interesting shot here from above Tony. See the left arm. Now watch him pull the left arm back. Wrist kind of cupped there as he let it go.
A sigh of relief. And so it's an 8-pin match here midway through game number 1. Dave Oziel qualifying number 3. Ron Palumbi Jr. in the 2 slot, and the top seed this week, Dave Ferraro.
Nice shot. Snap that weak 10 out of there. The 2 wives sitting next to one another. Suppose they talk back and forth. Shot of Jimmy throwing the shot here. Watch the follow through. Snaps it right up here. Now watch the 6-pin. Second from the right. You're going to see it go to the sideboard, come back out and get that 10. Anytime you see that, you know that the player had good lift, good fingers, what the bowlers call, in the shot.
Almost looks like he's got a little hold area out there as well. If he can swing it and tug it a little bit and still hit the pocket and carry, he's going to have a big night.
Well, as soon as you say that, the 1, 2, 8, 10 pops up. Twice in a row, he's left in that, missed the head pin on the left lane. We talked in the open, you know, that he has to avoid these open frames. He hasn't been tapped yet. He wants to get the ball to the left of the head pin here and send the head pin right into the 10. The ball will take out the 2 and the 8. Not enough. Not enough. So he's open there. And gives the lead to Westlake sitting on the bench. Boy, the left lane seems to be the key for both players here, Dan.
Well, Westlake goes from trailing by 8 to leading by 4 after the miscue. Let's see if he can jump on the opportunity here.
Gives it right back to 3, 6, 7. Tony's trying to play a very tight line, throw the ball very straight, right down the 10th or 11th board. And he just gets the ball left here. That one hit about 12. And going high right now, and he gets no good break. Has to hit the 3-pin thin and slide it over it. This very makeable split. Hit it 2 full. Gives it right back to Pensack. So it's just unable, unlike Tony Westlake, unable to take advantage of an open frame from an opponent.
So both players open up in the 6th, and now it's back to a 10-pin advantage for Jim Pensack. And the left-hand lane has supposedly been the tough lane for Tony Westlake. It appears to be the tighter of the 2.
He moved in a little bit, Dan. Still went high. Tried to make an adjustment. The ball still did exactly what the player's been talking about. The ball hooked early. In other words, it hooked too soon on the lane for him, and he just doesn't know what to do. If he gives it any more room, it doesn't come back. For the 610.
It's really a catch-22 situation when you don't have any swing, and if you set it a little short, it hooks early.
That's the position he's in. As we can see right here, you see he moves in toward that third arrow. It's about the 13th, 14th board there, and the ball bites right there. You can see it. Bites at about 35 feet right there, which is just too soon.
So it's been a struggle in the 6th for both players. A 10-pin lead right now for Jimmy Pensack when we return to Red Carpet Lanes in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ah, yes, wonderful gentleman there representing La Mode Activewear, Alan Gieler, a vice president, and you won't find a funnier gentleman in the crowd this evening. Having a little fun. He was asking for makeup just a couple of minutes ago.
Right. He says, I need some makeup for that bald head up there.
Great host. Marvelous gentleman who has lots of fun with the bowlers, an outstanding golfer in his own right, but he enjoys the sports world. No question about that. All right, back to live action for Pensack. He leads by 10. Would love to double up and extend that.
Doesn't trip the 4 this time. Again, a little bit short with that shot. Didn't get it out to where he wanted to. And leaves the 4-pin. We've got a nip and tuck match right here, you know. Not high scores, but it's certainly close.
Led the Seagram's Coolers U.S. Open earlier this year at Boulevard Bowl in Edmond, Oklahoma, only to lose Mike Aldi in the championship game, 195 to 178.
Open frames undid him there, too, Dan. He had several open frames in that game, 2 or 3. So we see his form from above. Looks pretty good right there. There's the scoreboard, 10 pins exactly. Both players on spares, 3 frames to go. Better shot. Boy, and it snapped. Missed the head pin, throw it where you want to, and it goes high. Right now, what's going through his mind is, what do I do in this lane? And he's got to finish on that lane.
Mike, one of the characteristics that we've seen throughout the summer is the first game and a half, the players really struggle with the lanes because they're changing with virtually every shot. Then once the conditioner settles in, they seem to be able to get lined up off of it. But what do you do in that case? Do you pull out a ball that maybe hooks medium and throw it up the second arrow and just try and get 9 spare?
Most of the players, I think, will try and increase the speed and maybe the loft a little bit to hold the ball into the pocket and just force it down there. And usually what happens then is if you do hit the pocket, you get tapped. And biggest shot of the week coming up for Tony right now. He's had good success on lane 16 for the most part. 1 errant shot there in the 6th frame. As we see the light shaker here, ball. Remember, the 1 pin has to hit the 2, and it barely got it there at that strike.
Old wall shot there on lane 16. The mystery lane, though, for Westlake has been this one right here.
Moved in. Nice adjustment. See him move in a little more loft, a little more speed, which is what you're talking about.
Ball held pocket, flush for the double, and this one's turned around a little bit. He now leads by 2.
And we're going to see him from above. Well, no, we don't. But watch the loft. Gets it further out on the lane and threw it just a little bit harder, and it just barely holds. Watch the 4 and the 7. The 2 just clipped the 4 as it went by. A lot of room. Ooh!
Well, you have to trust it on the PBA Tour if you want to come up a winner, and that was savings and trust on that shot.
I'm telling you, the head pin barely hit the 2 pin on that. It was almost missed it as it was going by. Watch it here. The ball's turning very late, coming in. Watch the head pin. Just nicked the 2 in the bucket. That's called a bucket crumbler, Dave.
All right, so a strike in the 9th. 223, a possibility if Jimmy Pensack would go all the way. And a possible 225 for Westlake.
This is for the lead. What a pretty shot that was.
Oh, he stayed with it beautifully, Mike. When it left his hand, he liked it all the way.
All the way. What I like, though, is he makes this tremendous shot under pressure, his best of the game, right over about the 16th, 17th board. The ball finishes hard at the end, right solid, as he didn't get too excited there because he knows he needs one more. All right, and what you can see him thinking right away, one more. More room. Got that light shot again.
Well, that one came back from nowhere, and Westlake realizes the gravity of the situation. Now he's going to have to at least double.
He's going to have to strike twice.
Pensac takes a scan of the scoreboard, realizes with an X here he's at 223. He now leads by 18, and so for Westlake, it would have to be at least a double and 9 if he strikes here. Well, cut it off a little short, yeah. The major work is done, though. He's going to force Westlake to double a game of 220, and a nice comeback for Pensac, who strung together 3 strikes in a very pressurized situation.
We know Tony can strike under the heat. Can he do it on lanes that he's struggling on? High. 4-7. He wanted to make sure he got it up there with good speed, and he just pulled it.
So Pensac realizes he'll get to bowl at least one more game, and he's basically defeated the hottest player on the tour at this moment.
Well, Tony, the last 3 weeks had been first, a second, and a third. I was thinking maybe you go fourth tonight.
Tony Westlake will now move to $91,700 on the '89 season, and now the big question: can he go to Cheektowaga throughway lanes next week for the PBA Senior Touring Pro Doubles Championship and coax his partner into the championship round to tie Johnny Petraglia's record?
Well, he's got 2 tasks there. I mean, he has to make the top 18. There's only 18 finalists on both sides, and then they're paired up, 1 with 1, 2 with 2. Then he has to bowl well and hope his partner bowls well in order to make it. So it's going to be a tough task.
So the dream for Westlake finishes up early. 220 to 202, the win for Jim Pensac.
Tonight on ESPN Classic at 7.
Has tremendous athletic ability.
Breaks it down, leaves only the 5-8. Searching for his first strike in this match, but still leads by 9 pins.
I guess the key word in this match would be patience. Don't make the big mistake.
Keep the ball in the fairway and hope for the best. See, he moved over there for the spare and it hooked right away.
Good acceleration right through the bottom of the swing, and the solid 9 stands. A twirl by Pensac, and he's not pleased with what happened there.
And I could just read their mind. You know, they're saying, hey, I got no back end as it is. The ball won't finish at the back end, and yet it leaves the solid 9. Watch it cut right through there and chops the 5 straight off the 9. The pin doesn't come off. Yes. Oh, you rat.
So a pirouette for Pensac, and nothing but a 9-pin spare.
Pirouette for Pensac?
Yes. Bit of alliteration there.
I noticed that alliteration.
Thank
there,
you.
Dennis.
Didn't say whether you liked it or not. You said you noticed it. Well, okay. It's a 9-pin lead for Palumbi, and if it were Jim Pensac right now, he would have penciled a strike in there in the 4th. More loft on the left-hand lane. He likes the result there. Well, maybe he's found out the secret.
Definitely seems that you got to get the ball out on that lane here. He's mad about that 9-pin.
I'd be a little steamed if I were him. That cost him a turkey.
Cost him the lead. I mean, he'd been in the lead by 11 pins if he carries that.
It was all Palumbi's tournament here through the first 18 games. Then he shifted gears.
Well, he keeps moving a little right, moving a little right. He finally got it up to get the strike. But he hasn't hit the 1-3 on lane 15 yet. Watch the loft here. See the ball behind the hip. The follow through, he trusts it, gets that ball well over the foul line, and just churns him up. Pins never had a chance.
First strike for Palumbi through 5 frames. Winner of this game takes on the top seed Dave Ferraro.
Boy, was that pretty. He just ripped through that with the fingers and trusted it all the way. His best shot of the night right there.
Clean release. The ball came off rolling instantly.
Watch this. See that heavy fingers there. Over about the 3rd arrow, out to about the 10th, 9th board. Knocks that flat 10 right out of there. Puts Pensek in a position that he has to strike. Loft. And strike.
Oh, that was Drill City. He stayed behind that one, really laid the heavy fingers to it.
One more, his wife says. She knows this game already. Watch that drill it in there. He's looking at the 10 pin. Yes, he got it. One more now for the lead.
Great body of a shot putter, wouldn't you think, or a discus man?
Yeah.
Very strong upper body.
Will it carry? Yes! We got a match.
So Pensac pivots and strikes twice and turns the tables on Palumbi.
Watch it. As it drives in here, the 6 pin just gets the 10, and he's looking at it all the way. Will it carry? Come on. Come on. Yeah.
All carry, and now this one's a 1-pin match. We'll be back with the conclusion after this. There's an better late than never.
Palumbi pummeled these pins.
I thought you were going to say he punished him, but obviously you wouldn't want to use that. So Palumbi turns one more time, and both players now working on 3 baggers. Trips out the 4, and that's the break of the week for Palumbi in the 8th.
Great break. He had given up on that shot, Dan, all the way through. He'd given up. He thought it was going high, and it is high, but still he gets the trip 4. Pensac asked for a re-rack on lane 16. The last time he asked for a re-rack was in the 2nd frame, and he 4-6'd.
Nearly left the Greek church. Got some help, and that was the end of that.
Doesn't look quite as confident now. But he sure was. Boy, he threw that pretty. Down to 9 pins. He's got a strike on this next shot, then.
So both players now with 4 consecutive strikes as we head now into the 9th. And I know that my good friends Jeff Mraz and Dick Gran, the sponsor of Jim Pensac, are probably right at the edge of their chairs at this point.
And this is the biggest shot of the week right now for Jim. Will it make it? Yes! And Jocelyn Jim whipped him right out of there. See that 6 pin, snap that 10 out of there. As his reaction to it, back in the lead by 1. going to fall? No. Soft and high. And which one was going to crack first? And it looks like it's Palumbi.
For a moment, it looked like the ball might hold and stay in the 1-3, but disaster strikes Palumbi in the latter stages of this one. Going to loft it hard, try and kick a pin out of the back deck, and it won't work. So Palumbi with a critical error late in this one tries to take a look at the chances now, and the chances are slim and none. Slim just left town. He's down 16 as he heads into the 10th. If he would strike out, he could shoot 220.
Which would force Pensac to mark in the 10th frame.
Many matches have been won or lost in that situation.
Will they hit it? Yes. Still alive, barely. And Ron ricochets this head pin over to the sideboard and back to get the 10.
Little gentle nudge.
Pretty shot.
That's a real test of your intestinal fortitude to come back from a major mistake in the 9th to double up. Now he forces Pensac to at least mark in the 10th frame to move on to the championship.
He's just so upset with himself. He made good shots all the way through. 4 strikes in a row. Finishes here with 3, 7 out of 8. And it may not be enough.
Yeah, you're right. A beautifully bowled game after the adjustments through the first 4 frames, but it might not be enough.
.219, well-bowled game.
Now let's see if the frustration this year continues for Ron Palumbi Jr., who has already qualified for 14 top 24 finishes. As we mentioned, only his 2nd appearance in the championship round. And Pensac, who is perspiring profusely, tries to hang on in this one.
He says, all right, I can make the 4-pin, and he needs to make it. Hard and straight at the 4-pin, hits it dead center, needs 5 pins. Stay behind the line, hit the head pin. 5 pins, and he's a winner.
Well, Red Carpet Lanes has been a great place for Ron Palumbi, and also kind of a burial ground as well. 2 years ago, he and Les Schisler lost in the 10th frame of the Touring Pro Doubles here when they were top seed, and tonight he's bowled an excellent game and is probably going to come up short one more time.
And Pensac backs off. Doesn't want to make any major mistakes right now when he's got the match won. That's enough.
More than enough for Jim Pensac of Mayfield Heights. Palumbi with the congratulatory offering for Ron Palumbi here at Green Bay this week. $7,000 to his credit. 224 to 219. So the man from Mayfield Heights advances to the title game. And for the 2nd time this year, he'll try and step into the PBA winner's circle.
At Denny's, you get more than a...
I certainly didn't realize they were giving away the Hope Diamond and $18,000 for first place this week, Mike. But what a dazzling trophy for whoever wins between Pensac or Ferraro. And the fans, I think, are ready for the championship game.
And Ferraro has made an interesting move right away. He's chosen to finish on the right lane, which means that he's saying to his opponent, if I have to get up in a double and throw it in the 10th and throw a double to win this tournament, I feel I can do it. And he's waiting for everybody to settle down and sit down. And
Excellent concentration there by Ferraro. Obviously disturbed by some technicians to the right, but nevertheless held off, remained composed, and struck.
Very vocal crowd here tonight.
Well, there are some Pensac fans and some Ferraro fans on hand.
Soft and high. It almost looked like he was nervous right away. Just here it is. We're bowling for the title now. He's got to get back into the flow of the game, back into the concentrating on what he needs to do to strike and not be thinking about the championship.
Leaves the 3-6 on the right-hand lane, and thankfully so. That went almost right through the center of the nose.
Hard and straight, no trouble.
Yeah, I guess there's no other feeling like the feeling of bowling for a championship.
Just winning it.
And once you learn how to win, you never forget.
That's true.
Well, he has finished 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd in his career. He's yet to finish 1st.
Well, he wants to hit for the cycle, huh?
Yeah, you bet. Complete the cycle.
Good loft that time. Will it make it? No.
Much more aggressive shot on the left-hand lane. 2-4-5 remains. Deep breath to summon the courage to shoot this shot.
Yeah, he doesn't want an open early to give Ferraro a chance to run away. And makes it easier. See how hard he threw it? She says, all right. All right.
Did your wife Debbie used to cheer like that?
She was a silent cheerer.
Yeah.
She was churning inside, though. It was like the duck.
Trying for the double down and wanting it badly, and another 10-pin for Dave Ferraro. That's been his nemesis in the championship round.
It has, hasn't it?
Boy, left 3 solid 10s when he was top seed just 2 weeks ago. Could not get a break.
Switches balls. No trouble with the spin. Familiar style of Dave Ferraro. Holds that ball right at the waist high. 5 steps. Pushes it out now on the 2nd step. Ball right in time at this point. At the top. Short backswing. Now watch the slide, or lack of it. Just a little bit. The heel goes down first in the loft. Left arm out. Rips him apart.
He seems to like the left-hand lane maybe better than the right.
Told me at the break that he liked the right lane, so he struck twice on that one.
Well, 3 shots right in the pocket. I think he's the first player that's come on to the telecast here and done that in the early stages.
Well, he's talked about staying away from the open frames, and he's had 2 open frames, 1 split and 1 washout.
Cut that one short.
Oh, got the break.
You see him look at his elbow when he let that one go?
Yeah.
Yeah, turned it a little early, cut it short, and got a big-time break.
Watch it. It's trying to hold, trying to hold. Head pin hits the 2. 2 goes to the sideboard and gets both the 4 and the 7. Oh, I didn't throw it too good, but it struck.
Now, possibly a key double, and he could lead in the match by 7. He trails by 3.
Hasn't made as good a shot as he made during the course of that 5-bagger in the last game yet. He stayed right behind it with good loft and extension and lift. Will it make it? Yes! There he is. He's back.
Critical strike as Ferraro mops the brow, realizing that he's in a dogfight here in the title match at Red Carpet Lanes in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Back with a conclusion after this.
Will it carry? Yes. Drilled it in there.
Boy, he's made 4 very, very professional shots. And he now has a double, and he wrestles the lead from Pensac.
You don't say that he has ice water in his veins for nothing, I'll tell you. Ferraro was fearless.
He's really developed over the last couple of years, although 0-3 in the title match this year.
Yeah, he wants to make it 1 for 4. Bat 250.
You bet. Come back tomorrow and try again.
Ooh, breaks it down. It's a 1-pin match. As he leaves the 4-7. Left lane wants to creep high, wants to hook just a little early. Where the right lane seems to hold pocket.
Quickly, cross lane. And a spare up for Ferraro. Nearing the midway point of the title game. Of course, riding on the line here as a re-rack is issued on lane 16 for Pensac. Should he win, a trip to the Firestone Tournament of Champions in Akron, Ohio, his first ever visit. He just lives right up the road.
He doesn't like this rack either, but he only has 2, and he's saving the last one. For the lead. Well, you hit them there, they all go down no matter how they're standing up there.
Pensac growling as he moves across the approach there. He wanted that one badly.
Watch this. Excellent loft. I mean, this is just drilled in the 1-3 from the moment he let it go. Perfect. All 10 in the pit.
Now the key. Reduce that heart rate, relax, go out there and make the key shot.
You go up by 19. Will it make it? Oh, he thought he had it, and the 7-pin wouldn't cooperate.
Ferraro happy to see the 7-pin standing.
Relieved.
Pensac realizing how key that shot really was. Boy, he ripped it, didn't he?
They did rip it.
Didn't leave any of it home.
Hard and straight at the 7-pin. No trouble. Ferraro heads to the 6th frame, trailing by 8. Will it hold? Yep. He's got 16 just wired, baby.
Yeah, that's been Flush City every trip.
10-pin and 2 flush strikes. Look at the loft. 5 or 6 feet out there, and it's just holding pocket all the way here.
Well, you make them disappear like that. When they all leave at the same time, you know you've done something special. It's kind of a race to the back of the pit. Key double here, though, would put him back up by a deuce.
High. Busts it up, leaves only the 6-10. One more shot he has on that lane. He's got to make a better shot the next time.
Through the nose twice, switches to another ball there to shoot the spare. You're right. Had 2 opportunities after striking on the right-hand lane to double up, take the lead in the match. Wasn't able to convert on either occasion.
Asking for his last re-rack.
He works on the spare in the 6th, so obviously he feels like this is it right here. It's Kenny Loggins' time. If I don't strike here, I may not end up a winner.
Gives it right back.
Got too much of it as Liz laments that shot, and Jimmy with a pound on the thigh, realizing he might have made a major mistake there.
Ball just grabbed too soon, hooked right to the heart. And there we talked about the open frames.
No, 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 and it ends up a yes. So key now to get the count and move on. Forget about that shot. You can't worry about it now.
Trails by 6 with 3 frames to go. As you said, he's got to get it back. Regroup on lane 15 right now.
Heck, he could still shoot 232. That should be good enough to win.
Here it comes. Snaps him out there as he has a couple of words for it.
Chats a bit with the 10-pin on lane 15, but now he'll have to sit in silence and wait for Dave Ferraro to operate. Ferraro could shoot 238 if he takes it all the way off the board.
And there's a fly buzzing right around Dave. I saw it earlier. Tries to get it away, but it's a distraction. Somebody moved a chair right in the middle of the approach, but it didn't bother him at all.
A strike for Ferraro in a clutch situation. The left-hand lane has been the mystery lane for him on the last 2 shots. It's been through the nose. What does he do now adjustment-wise?
I think he goes to his strength, which is just a little more loft, a little more speed, and direct a rocket to the pocket.
He said, "Come on, ball," and he has a few words for lane 15. So both players jousting at this stage. Ferraro with a mammoth double in the 9th.
Big, big shot right here. Sets himself up for the 10th frame, puts the pressure squarely on Pensac, hits it thin, gets the old wall shot. Pensac must strike on this ball. 16 down, can cut it to 6. Fudged a little bit left.
Plenty of room.
Oh, pretty shot. Down to 6 pins now.
Back and forth they go. Ferraro out of one hot seat and on to the other.
Well, Pensac has answered the call all night long. He's responded to every pressure situation, and now it's the greatest pressure. A non-winner stepping up in the 10th frame with a chance to take the lead with a strike on this ball. There. Oh, it's there.
Ferraro trying not to let the emotion show, but you know deep down inside he has to be concerned.
Well, there's nothing he can do. As a man makes a quality shot like this under that kind of pressure, he can't throw it any better than that. Puts him up by 4. One more makes it 14.
If he strikes here, Ferraro has to double.
Will it hold? Will it hit it?
Yes! The 4 into the 9. Liz is happy. Pensac is ecstatic. And Ferraro towels off and realizes he's going to have to take it off the sheet.
Watch it. Creeps high. The 2-pin goes to the sideboard, hits the 4. The 4 wiggles, wobbles, falls, and hits the 9, and it falls. Pensack watches it all the way. What's going to happen? Hit it, please. Oh, you. Thank you.
The fist to the fans who are appreciative of the marvelous effort in the 10th frame. 231 for Ferraro. It's as simple as this, a double and 4, and he wins again.
Will it make it? No. David didn't respond, and Pensack has won.
So a kiss for the champion, the raised fist, the tears of victory in the eyes of Jim Pensack, the winner of the La Mode Classic.